Hello, welcome to Market Haven. My name is Edward Nyaku. You might have heard that Nigeria in 2015 banned importation of rice. As we speak now, more or less Nigeria is sufficient in terms of rice production. They were spending about $2.4 billion in importing rice. The question is, what did Nigeria do right to be able to get this far? We're going to talk to a former member of parliament for Chifu Etimokwa area constituency, in particular in the person of Mr. Abraham Juma Odum, and he's going to share more with us because he was consulted by the Nigerian government to help in upscaling rice production in Nigeria. So we're going to find out more from him, what he did right, what are some of the things he did that can be replicated in Ghana to also help us become sufficient when it comes to rice production. But before we continue, let's take the base language for today. Right away, we'll go to the stock market to look at the performance of the equities for today, and with me to do that is Abdul. Abdul, welcome.
Thank you so much, Edward. There were three price movers on the market today, two gainers and one laggard. In fact, the laggard is a heavily weighted stock on the Accra, and that has resulted in a decline in the market indices. I'll be telling you more of that, but let me tell you the number of equities that made some moves on the market today. 6 counters saw some exchanges. We saw some 4,319 shares traded. That is Bob, which was the biggest gainer of the day. Then followed by Calbank, which did some 900 shares, 5,300 with Fan Milk. In fact, the volume of shares with this equity was very high, as well as the decline. It's one of the heavily weighted stocks on the Accra Bears. 1,995 with Guel, 26,090 with MTN Ghana. Of course, the market leader in terms of turnover and value as well. 30,000 with Republic Bank, and 1,832 shares were traded in Total. In Total, we saw 70,436. In terms of the movers on the market today, we saw Fan Milk losing some 50 pesos, as high as 50 pesos, 40 pesos gain in Bob, but because Fan Milk is a heavily weighted stock on the Accra Bears, it has resulted in a dip as far as the market indices are concerned. Total recorded some 1 peso, but that could not save the composite index from recording a decline of 4.11 pesos. 11 points rather, and we've seen a dip in the total composite index, which of course yesterday was a bit higher. It has changed to 47 to 46.88%. In terms of the financial stocks also, it has recorded no change. In fact, if you look at the movers on the market, it's only Republic Bank and Cal that did some move as far as the financial stocks are concerned. In terms of how these translated into the market indices, the volume of shares 70,000 from 1.2 on Monday, 270,000 on Tuesday, to as low as 70,000 on Wednesday, and that translated into 107,000 Ghana cedis, down from 2.3 million on Monday to 324,000 on Tuesday. The composite index also went down from 2,850.01 points to 2,851.90 points. The market capitalization has also gone down by some 43 million Ghana cedis, from 64.183 million Ghana cedis to 64,140 million Ghana cedis. So, Edward, if you ask me what transpired on the market, that's all I can tell you.
Thank you very much, Abdul. We thank you for the analysis. We're going for a break. When we come back, we're going straight into Nigeria to find out the secret behind Nigeria's upscaling of rice production. Hello, welcome back to Market Avenue. With me in the studio is Honorable Abraham Juma Odu, former MP for Chifu Etimokwa
in the central
region. Chifu Etimokwa.
Yes.
Honorable, welcome.
Well,
many from you, were your parents into rice production or rice farm before you ventured into rice production?
Oh, let me say good evening to your esteemed viewers and listeners, and say another good evening to my chief mentor, President John Kumukufo, the man I look up to so much, and also pay tribute to Kojoban Rodu, somebody I learned so much, especially when it comes to his humility and everything, affability and everything. Let me also say good evening to Jack Foundation, where Professor Ajiman Dia is the CEO, and then the colleagues Kofi, Nanamba, and the rest. I mean, it was through Jack Foundation that this story that we are coming to tell came about.
Okay.
Then back to your question. I was born in a typical village. The name is Kwekudum Krom, Mbrahim area. From Dunkwao to Ponso, that place is where I was born. The river that we drank at that time was called Puyo. That was where my father began. And he was doing cocoa and rice.
Okay.
So as a kid, I was learning it. But fortunately for me, my dad moved from Ibrahim Kwekudum Krom to Dunkwao to set up a choba business.
Okay.
And I would say I was fortunate then, because over there in Dunkwao, I was enrolled at Catholic Boys School. So I had my primary school from Dunkwao, St. James Catholic Boys School, from class 1 to those days from 4.
Okay.
But whilst we were at Dunkwao, my old man would definitely make sure that on every vacation we'll go to the farm.
Okay.
He comes from Inshaim in the Dunkwao traditional area, and he was made a chief there. So definitely land was available. So after every vacation, we have to be there. And it was cocoa and rice. That time, he was doing the rice to raise funds to pay for our fees. Because you know, rice growing is a short period. Very short period, you get the rice, and then you're able to market it, and then get some money to pay for the school fees. Whilst cocoa will take some time.
All right. Now let's come back to the story of Nigeria. How did you find yourself in Nigeria to scale up your rice production?
Okay, so when I had the opportunity to become the DCE for Chufu Praso,
Okay.
in other words, Chufu Himan Lower Denchira, at that time, 2001, people were virtually cutting down their cocoa. So I didn't understand, coming from where I've told you I came from. So I said, how? Because I know that it was cocoa that was used to build places like Kufodia, Kumasi, and the rest. So the cocoa farmers were rich. But this time round, people were cutting down their cocoa and growing cassava and plantain. So as a district chief executive, I went to Craig,
Tafo,
to engage with the executive director there. He was called Dr. Apia, of the blessed memory.
Right.
When I went there, I told him, Doctor, I'm coming from Chufu, Himan Lower Denchira, where my people are mainly cocoa farmers or oil palm. But there's this phenomenon that I don't understand. But I hear you people are in the research. And he was amazed that as a politician, I was making that move. So he said, my brother, I'll help you. We have done all the research. We have all the research materials here that will improve cocoa production. But nobody is approaching us like you are approaching us. So we started a collaboration. Fortunately, that time we had what we call the poverty alleviation. And I needed to have the permission of the assembly to use the poverty alleviation to do that project. So I sent my chief farmers, about 4 of them and a lady, to come to Creek, also to listen to them by themselves. And they came back. They said, wow, chief, what you are saying is true. I said, so what do we do? Fortunately, at that time, he was able to take them to a demonstration farm at Asin Jakai, where the current MPP chairman, Mr. Kutin, has such experimental farm.
Okay.
So they look at it, and at the time that they went there, they weren't expecting cocoa to be fruiting, and it was fruiting. So they came back, and they were so convinced. So I asked them to tell their story. They told the story. So I put the question before the assembly that would you allow me to use your poverty alleviation to do this? And they say, yeah, 100% overwhelmingly. So Dr. Pierre started coming there almost every 2 weeks to educate my farmers. Then he introduced Wienko. That time it was Mr. Winches, who is also going into join the ancestors. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Then we started talking. Then we realized that using our poverty alleviation, we could start a project in that regard. And then I saw that if you try to use only the civil servant, they may not get you the right results. So I called the Social Investment Fund. Social Investment Fund also came in, and we did the project for 1 year. If you come to farms in Chufuhima, Lower Denchira, you will see that this is really something. The president then heard about this story. He sent a team from Castle and then Cocoa Board to come and inquire what has happened over there. And they came and they were so amazed. So a report was made, and then the whole thing was replicated in the whole country. And that was Cocoa High Tech.
Cocoa High Tech. So is that from your end?
Yes.
In Ghana?
Yes.
Wow.
Cocoa High Tech. That was Cocoa High Tech. So going. I mean, the 1 million ton thing that we're talking about. Yes. I remember we had a meeting at Airside Hotel where we had a blueprint for 1 million tons, and the basis for it was that Ghana at that time had about 1.6 million hectares of cocoa. So that if we could do the good management and all the blah things that we have to do, then we could get at least 1 ton. In other words, we could get about 1.6 million tons. So the 1 million ton that we had somewhere in 2010, that is the genesis of it.
Right. And the rise.
And then 2012, when we were out of office, Madam Sirleaf Johnson,
as the president, former president of Nigeria, Liberia,
asked President Kufuor to come and help her do a similar thing in Liberia. So he took me there. President Kufuor took me there. At that time when we went, we had a meeting. Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu was there, and Haji Ali Mahama was advisor to the cabinet for women and children affairs. So we had a meeting, and the President Kufuor told Sirleaf Johnson, this is the man who did what happened in Ghana. So I gave him to you, take him. So we started with the World Bank. And definitely, I had to use the apparatus that we had created here. So I took Cocoa Abrabapa, yes.
To Liberia?
To Liberia.
But how did the rice come in?
I'm coming. And I went with, Winches gave me one Mr. Adi. Mr. Winches gave me one of his officers to work with. So whilst I was in Liberia, then I look at Liberia, their staple food is rice. Meanwhile, they were importing rice. Virtually almost all the rice that they were eating was imported. So I did a concept paper brought it to President Kufuor. I discussed with him that, President, you sent me to Liberia to do cocoa, but this is what I am seeing. And I think you as a Pan-Africanist, we have to do something about it. So, Odum, anything that you want to do, go ahead. So we got Michigan State University through a friend that I knew in Switzerland, because in between, I was also made a consultant to a company, Novel Group in Switzerland, on cocoa issues. So I was a consultant. So through Ija Khan, as a Senegalese friend, I brought him in and President Kufuor, and then we were able to get Michigan State University to polish
the document.
And then we got Bill and Melinda Gates to come in. And then Bill and Melinda Gates said, we are going to partner with J.A. Kufuor Foundation to do what we call Competitive African Rice Initiative. They chose Ghana, Nigeria, Burkina, and Tanzania.
Okay.
And I was made the policy advisor, and I was stationed in Abuja, Asokoro office. And when I went there, and they took me to the field, I look at the field in Nigeria, state by state, and I ask myself a question. Why is Nigeria importing about $2.5 billion dollars worth of rice when even one state of Nigeria can produce all that, especially Benin Kebbi?
Wow.
Can do that. So I started searching myself. That's okay. I remember that when President Kufuor took office, it was Nigeria that gave us oil and gave us vehicles for our police. So it was a payback time. I went to the rice farmers, spoke to them, and that time the office in Nigeria, I would say it was like equivalent of being in Nima. And as I'm talking to you now, their office is somewhere in like airport residential area.
Wow.
So we started talking. And then I called a meeting, which meeting brought all the stakeholders, including the Central Bank of Nigeria, customs, immigration, police, FAO. So we all came together, and I told them, Nigeria have no business to import rice. We have to stop the importation of rice from this table. So we agreed, and we started. And I was given the responsibility to organize the farmers, because they were the bedrock. And
so when you came in, what was the volumes that was being produced in Nigeria? And when you came, how did
it was not significant, because virtually about 80% of Nigerians were eating imported rice. So about 20%, I would say, were taking their local rice. Okay, so we look at it, and it was like, let us build a value chain that is so vibrant, that will handle all the weak points. And that is what we did. And along the line, the central bank people told me, Mr. Odum, you know, my name is Abraham. So when I go to the north, they call me Ibrahim. And south, they call me Abraham. So I was in Jigawa. Then the country manager over there told me, Ibrahim, we have this money sitting here for import substitution. Do a paper so that we can give it to the farmers. And that gave birth to what they call the Anchor Borrower Project in Nigeria.
Wow.
The Anchor Borrower, the rice miller, the farmer, and then the input dealer. They were the three pillars of the whole project.
Wonderful.
So the money will be given to the miller, and then the miller will appropriate some for the input dealer to supply me, the farmer.
Okay.
And then give me also some for land preparation and other things. When I harvest, then I bring it to the miller, and then the miller will pay me the difference. Meanwhile, we were looking at the weakness in the farm production, because at that time, the production was below 2 tons per hectare.
But now they are doing 8 million metric tons.
They are doing 6, 7, 8 tons per hectare.
Per hectare now?
Per hectare now.
It was 2.
2. So
now it's moved to
6.
Six.
And therefore, those days, if they took a loan, they couldn't pay. But now that they are doing 6 and 7 and 8, any money that they take, they are able to pay.
Wow.
And in the process, we're able, like you see my shot that I sent, I'll go and sit with women on the ground. Because you see, you need to be closer to the farmer to be able to exchange ideas. You see, if you want to be a game changer, you don't sit in the office. You don't talk. You sit with the person, eat with the person, reason with the person. So we did that, and the president of Refan, Aminu Goronyo, has a population of about 12.5 million people. So I said, if everyone would give me even 1 ton, it means we have 12 million tons. And therefore, there was the basis for Nigeria not to import rice again. But then, we had the importers to deal with. You see, I was greeting a lady.
Yes.
She was the president of the
Rice
Importers
Importers.
Association. I went to her in Lagos. Madam, I've come. This is my mission. I'm not a Presbyterian, but my mission is that Nigeria has no business importing rice. And you are importing rice. And therefore, your son, your daughter cannot get a job to do here in Nigeria. Say, where are you coming from? I said, I'm from Ghana. Oh, Ghana? Okay, I will listen to you. Then we Jojo. Then we started working on it. Meanwhile, my technical people were also working on the field, ensuring good agronomical practices to make the farmer get to the levels that we are looking at. And that is how gradually, Nigeria came to a point that they saw that there was no need, apparently no need for them to import rice. So I'm glad that at that time I saw it as a Pan-African mission, because I remember anytime I came to President Kufuor, I would tell him that, Papa, I know that when Nigeria gets it right, Ghana will also get it right.
Wow. Honorable, I think time has not been fair to us.
No worries.
But we have to do part 2 actually.
Okay.
To look at how we're going to do same in Ghana, because from 2015 that Nigeria banned rice, I was reading. Now they are the leading paddy rice producer in all of Africa, and they are number 14 in the whole world now, because of what you have yourself to be used for. Thank you very much. It's too short a time, but I think next week, if you have a time, we'll look at.
I'm going to my village.
You're going to your village.
No, I'm doing maize.
You're doing maize now.
Yes. Currently, the first season I was able to do about 30 acres. The second season I'm aiming at 40 acres or 45 acres, and soya beans as well.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I have cocoa, I have oil palm. So as for me, my DNA
is farming.
Is farming.
All right.
And that is where I want to say that this talk about chaliba, we have to take a second look at it.
All right. Thank you very much.
My father taught me on the farm.
Okay.
That is why I'm able to do the things that I'm doing.
So definitely you have to come back for part 2 to look at what can be done in Ghana to stop importation, right? So my name is Edward Nyako. God willing, we'll come your way next tomorrow for another edition of Market Avenue. My guest has been Honorable Abraham Odum from Chifu Etimokwa. Thank you very much for your time. Shalom. Bye.